So here we go, the moment they have worked their entire careers for to play in the NCAA tournament. It's here.
And Presbyterian starting out, and they run like a matchup zone. It's almost man-to-man principles with gapping, but they want to force that perimeter shot from Sacred Heart.
Right away, Sajeda Bonner takes the shot. The rebound into the hands of Christina Klein.
And then Sacred Heart, a man-to-man defense. You're not going to see them too much out in passing lanes. They, too, are going to challenge to see if Presbyterian can knock down perimeter shots.
Brianna Brady, the sixth-year player, working down low, will have to kick back out. They refeed her. Through contact goes Brianna Brady.
And as long as Brady is isolated down low in the paint, you've got to play inside out if you're the Blue Hose.
Krokvis in for the layup. And you can hear Presbyterian, remember, only an hour away from here in Columbia, South Carolina, so there is a lot of Presby fans in the stands.
This is the smallest school in Division I NCAA, and they're in the NCAA tournament.
This will stay with Sacred Heart. Well, Alora Sharp is in her 6th season. So excited to get this program to their very first NCAA tournament. She played Division II as well, so this is her first time in the Big Dance. Didn't make the tournament there either.
She talked about how excited she was and for continuing to make history. Look, in the Big South tournament, Presbyterian was a 5 seed, and they went on to win the Big South Championship.
Yeah, their first Big South title in program history. And what did she tell them today at shoot-around? Don't come out here and play to not lose. Leave it all out on the court.
At shoot-around this morning, I felt like I could execute the game plan with how well and detailed it was. Everything in the players, there's a lot of communication that happens with Presbyterian. You have to run their zone defense, but everybody talking constantly and locked in.
That was Nalise Dudley getting on the floor to take that away for Sacred Heart. Inside, back to Dudley. Oh, rolls all the way around the rim and out.
Did you see Brady as she came down? She met Tucker, and instead of getting the offensive foul, she almost gave her a hug.
Yeah.
To avoid the violation.
Here's Sierra Johnson. They'll set it back up top to Pryor.
Really forcing Pryor to go to her left.
They got a fresh 20. The kick out to Bonner. And that's going to be off of Presbyterian. Sacred Heart basketball. Well, Jessica Minetti, she is the only coach in program history to win an NCAA tournament game. They did that last year when they beat Southern in the first 4. They've gone back-to-back NEC championships. They played on Sunday, Peck, and then had to get a quick turnaround and make it down here to Columbia.
That's tough because you don't know who you're going to play. You got to worry about packing. You got to worry about your scout. You got to get your players ready.
4 seconds. Johnson looking for anything. She'll take the layup.
And that's what Sacred Heart has to do. They got to score so they can get their press set.
Breakfast will slow it down here.
I don't see any nerves from either one of these two teams.
No, they're ready. Six seconds. Brady got the position inside.
Look at that rebound. Oh, wow. Christina Klein, where'd she come from?
All the way down the street. Sacred Heart coming into this game on a 15-game winning streak. The Pioneers, of course, Sacred Heart based in Fairfield, Connecticut. Maranira out of Spain. Shakes the defense, and Presbyterian with the momentum.
It's been really hard for Sacred Heart to maneuver through this zone defense of Presbyterian.
Pryor, another look.
Well, she leads Sacred Heart in rebounding, #1 in gray.
Bonner. They needed the 3, and they got it. Their second bucket of the night. Nira. Sierra Johnson trying to break down Paige Kenseth.
Yeah, and Presbyterian trying to send everything to the left side of the floor.
Seven seconds here for Sierra Johnson. Up and in for Nalise Dudley, a member of the All-NEC rookie team. Presbyterian's not panicking with this press.
Well, they worked on it in shoot-around. Everybody knew where to go. Coach Sharp said, space is your friend.
They throw it up to Brianna Brady. Little pivot, little bucket.
Just the size advantage that Brady has inside. Presbyterian's got to continue to play through the paint.
Started her career at UC Riverside before transferring to Presbyterian.
Watch how Brady's directing traffic in the back of that zone.
8 seconds. Klein cutting across the lane. Kept her foot down, looking for the fadeaway! Christina Klein! Ballin'!
Presbyterian doesn't look like this is the first time that they have entered the NCAA tournament. They look as comfortable as a broken-in house shoe.
That's comfort.
I mean, they look ready to play.
Driving baseline is Sierra Johnson. She's got 4.
Look, I think an advantage that Presbyterian has, having not been here before, you can have really that blind anxiousness. You don't know what to be nervous about, so you just go play.
You don't know what you don't know. What they do know is how to play hard. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Paige Kenseth. Well, when we come back, the journey to the tournament for Sacred Heart and the long winning streak.
That was tough.
Yeah, we got the video from the point of view of Nye Pryor. We'll show you that here in just a moment. But the Sacred Heart team, they have put everything together and really dominated the NEC. Their 6th regular season title and their 5th tournament championship.
Now, Sacred Heart has put Kelsey Wood in the middle of their zone offense, but she's not able to get a touch. That's how you really break a zone down.
Okay, so back to the coaches running. This was yesterday in practice from the view of Nye Pryor.
She was loving it.
Would you ever agree to this, Coach Beck?
No, I would make my assistants do it. But look, they were all on board if they made a bet with the team, and if the team fulfilled what they had set out to do, yeah, you got to get on the line if that's what you agreed to.
It's worth 15 wins in a row.
Yeah, I asked them what was it would be if they won today, and they were still thinking about it, so I'm not sure what they came up with.
Running a practice was thrown out.
Yeah. But you know what? They didn't ask for like new pair of shoes or warm-ups.
No.
It was activity together.
Yeah,
which I really liked about
hibachi.
it. Well, you go eat together, and they
Yeah.
said when they did go get the hibachi, they were ordering lobster,
As
scallops.
they should.
Yeah, you get the most expensive thing on the menu when the coach is buying.
Maranira, a little bit too much on the three. Pryor down with the rebound. Amelia Wood thought about it in transition. Olivia Tucker will take it instead. Meanwhile, Presbyterian on a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Tilda Crockfist ends that. 4 points for her.
With Brianna Brady on the bench, the big center, the 6'3" post player, when she's on the bench, then Cockrest has got to look more to be aggressive offensively.
First foul whistled against Crockfist.
It's before the defense gets set. That was a nice screen. And Cockrest goes all the way to the basket.
Sacred Heart shooting just 22% from the field here in the opening 10 minutes.
You see how Presbyterian is really clogging anything from getting inside.
There's a foul underneath. Kelsey Wood hit the deck hard, and that's going to be the second on Paige Kenseth of Presbyterian. So Lainey Scoggins is going to the table. She'll check in and replace Kenseth. 29.9 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, and all these players for the Blue Hose, they're interchangeable. They've had to adjust their positions. You talked about having those 4 players that were out injured. And it's a good thing that they run a positionless-like system. So not only offensively you can play in a number of positions, defensively as well.
Pryor setting it up. She has not scored yet tonight. Amelia Wood, top of the key, 3 off to the left. And Presbyterian's got some time for the last shot of the quarter. Nira all the way in and fouled.
I don't like that little inside out dribble.
That's the first on Amelia Wood of Sacred Heart. Presbyterian started this game, just shot out of a cannon. Fearless, that zone working really hard for them. Shooting 60% from the field in their very first NCAA tournament.
They did the same thing going into the Big South tournament, knowing that you had to get off to a good start. And that helps build a lot of confidence as you start to play.
2.5 for Nye Pryor at half court. And Presbyterian ending the quarter on an 8-2 run. Winner of this game moves on to Friday to get the #1 team in the nation. The South Carolina get ready to go, see how you stack up. I'm so excited for this whole tournament.
Well, when you fill out your brackets, you've got to look at the style of how teams that play and how those contrasting styles meet before you make your decision. Can't just go on mascot uniform color. You got to do a little research.
I will say Presbyterian Scotty the Scotsman is in the running for my favorite mascot.
Oh, that's why, you know, you have to consider them when you're filling out your bracket.
What's allowed Presbyterian to come out and shoot 60% from the field?
Well, their defense and getting stops builds confidence, and then the motion offense, they're not taking bad shots. They're being very disciplined, very selective in the shots that they take.
6 points for Nira. Here's Kelsey Wood. Kick out to her sister Amelia. They'll swing it around the horn.
It's just like Presbyterian are in Sacred Hearts in their spots. They can't get anything easy.
They'll get a fresh 20 here. Wood comes out with it. Sierra Johnson driving baseline. That's a couple of times she's hit that shot.
And in order to break the pressure of that zone, you're going to have players create off the bounce. You're going to have to make 2 guard 1.
7-second chance points now for Sacred Heart. Krokvist saw an opening right down Main Street. It rattles out.
That might have been the easiest shot they had all day. She wasn't able to knock it down.
Tucker going all the way through. Pryor still has not scored for Sacred Heart. She averages 18 points a game.
In that possession, she didn't even look for a shot. She was purely a passer.
I'm talking about number 1 in gray for the Pioneers.
It set some screening action for Pryor.
Kelsey Wood. Brianna Brady. And free throws coming. Brianna Brady, first foul against Kelsey Wood. 6th-year player. Actually, her first sport was softball. She didn't start basketball until her senior year of high school, and then went to UC Riverside. And now she's the veteran on this team. And there's some very special initials on her shoe. She has written the initials of all 4 of the players that are out with season-ending injuries because she's playing for them.
Well, she said in the press conference that she was playing for the players that were not able to. And that just shows her dedication. She had to petition the NCAA to get that 6th year. That's how much this program meant to her. And she said the main reason for coming back, no disrespect to academics, but she was coming back for another year, wanted that 6th year to win a championship. And they went on and won their conference championship and find themselves here.
As the 5 seed, Krokvist throws it up. And a couple of players tripped up under the basket. Marina Colneal. And the bench over for Presbyterian. 4 injured players out for the year, 3 starters. And it's just been that next woman up mentality.
And a lot of times with teams, when you face that adversity, you can go one of 2 directions. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can bond together and make the best of it. Play with a little extra motivation. Ask a little bit more from each person, and that's what they've done.
Colneal at the free throw line for Presbyterian. And this is the first. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship continues this weekend with the first and second round games. Continues through April 7th when we crown a champion. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
And Courtney, we get to start the tournament, and this is just the first game. I can't wait till after this one to watch Columbia and Vanderbilt following us, and then the days to follow after that. I may not get much sleep until we get to Cleveland.
You can sleep in April.
Okay.
For a minute.
A minute.
7 seconds prior, and that's a double dribble.
Presbyterian has Pryor frustrated. She cannot find the seams she's normally able to dice, and she's 0 for 7 from the floor today.
Averages almost 19 points a game and 7 rebounds. The 2-time conference player of the year. Colneal at the free throw line, knew it was short, tried to chase it. Nira will get the offensive board. And that's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow pointing to the Pioneers.
Sacred Heart needs to get the ball from side to side. Let's say a third side. You start on one side, get ball reversal, then get it back. Cause the zone to shift, and also screen the zone.
They're just sticking on this near side, see if they can get an Elise Dudley to post up.
Well, you see, you have 4 players really that are standing around the perimeter. There's a screen on the zone.
Then the kick out to Pryor.
Oh, great cut.
Pryor made that turnover happen. Jada Bonner off the mark. 3.5-minute scoring drought for Sacred Heart, but a 4-minute field goal drought for Presbyterian.
What's happening with Sacred Heart? They're either getting late in the shot clock and they're having to take a rush shot, or they're taking a quick shot in the possession. They've got to find that happy medium to get the shots that they want.
First foul against Pryor. Pryor going over everybody to get that rebound.
5-3. Leading Sacred Heart in rebounding.
That's just a hustle play from Jada Bonner, and then a travel on Johnson. The first 4, Presbyterian and Sacred Heart battling to get to Friday.
5 players that got drafted into the WNBA, and here they are sitting on top of the tournament right now.
32-0 on top of the tournament. Second year in a row they're entering the NCAA tournament undefeated.
But I want to go back to what Nikki Fargas talked about, the defense of Presbyterian. They are holding Sacred Heart to shooting 21% in this first half.
That matchup zone. Alara Sharp, she was at Southern Miss for a couple of seasons as an assistant. She told us she learned that zone from Donnie Tyndall, who was at Southern Miss at the same time. And she's kept it ever since. Her players know it so well.
Well, I want to correct that. They're shooting 18.5%.
Yeah, get it
in
right,
this first half. I mean, they are playing some stingy defense. And then how the Blue Hose are executing offensively. Their motion offense. And the thing that Coach Sharp talked about, screen and settle.
Mara Nira cutting to the basket, and Tilda Krokvis knew it immediately.
The screening action, unselfish play. Brady sets a big screen, and then Nira just cuts off of it to the basket. That's how you get easy shots out of your offense.
Nira started at Eastern Wyoming before playing for Presbyterian, and Coach Sharp told us she's just a spark plug for them, and she's a scorer, so that helps.
Well, when you have a nice point guard like Krokvis, then you have a center like Brady. When you have that third player like Nira, you've got a balanced attack.
Presbyterian on a 6-0 run. Danae Hines will swing it up to Klein. Brady top of the key. She said, oh, let me just shoot this real quick.
Nira's on one. She said, you can pay all your attention to my point guard, my center. I'll take care of business behind the three-point line.
She's already passed the point total she had in the Big South Championship game at 10. She's at 12 now in the first half. Sacred Heart, meanwhile, has not scored in almost 6 minutes.
Sacred Heart's going to have to settle in, regroup in the locker room at halftime.
And Pryor will have some free throws coming.
Presbyterian has defended this for most of this first half, not allowing Pryor to get into the second level of the defense. That time she did and got to the free throw line.
Again, Nicira Pryor, their leading scorer at 19 points a game. She's had 21 or more points in 8 of their last 10 games. And scoreless tonight.
Looking statistically on what Presbyterian has done, they've contested 18 of Sacred Heart's first 29 shots, and Sacred Heart is just 1 of 18 on those shots. The defense, it's been a collective team effort. Again, it's a zone, but a lot of times it's 2 or 3 people guarding the ball at a time.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It has been for Sacred Heart.
Yeah. Sonia Sato passing it over to Coneal.
Screen and settle is what Coach Sharp talks about.
Coneal regroups, running out of time. And this time it's the Pioneers defense that gets the stop.
The important thing to note, though, is for Presbyterian, you're better off if you're going to get a violation, it's a shot clock violation instead of a live ball turnover, because that can really get Sacred Heart rolling.
Sacred Heart, no field goals in the last 7 minutes. Six seconds for Pryor to work. Olivia Tucker. A deep three. First field goal in over 7 minutes, and Presbyterian still up by 10.
The Pioneers are going to have to make some of those shots to open up the lane, driving lanes. But until it's done consistently, Presbyterian's going to sit back in that zone.
Klein at the free throw line.
The confidence that Presbyterian has and the confidence they have in each other when anybody's ready to shoot, they believe.
50% from the field, confident. Running to the basket, Nalise Dudley. Presbyterian can take the last shot of the half. The ball movement to get it inside to Sato. Presbyterian, welcome to the tournament. They're 18-0 this season when holding opponents below 60 points, and they only give up 17 in the first half. Let's get you now to Dots.
In watching the execution offensively, they know where each other need to be, and the pride they take in screening for each other has created a lot of great shots for the Blue Hose.
There's Brianna Brady. Kick out tipped up in the air by Olivia Tucker. 7 seconds. This is Mara Nira. Dumping it off to Brady, but it's swatted away by Dudley.
And one of the changes I already see from Sacred Heart, switching on those screens now. Instead of getting nailed and giving up open layups, the switching action happens, but it's got to be called sooner.
This is the second appearance in a row for Sacred Heart, their 5th overall in the tournament. They got their first win last year over Southern as there's a shot clock violation. And they come into this game on a 15-game winning streak, but a hole to climb out of here in the third quarter.
That's a good sign, though, for Sacred Heart to get a defensive stop right out of the locker room. Now can they score it?
Pryor to the free throw line. I'm so interested to see what Nye Pryor has in store in this second half. This is a player that averages 19 points a game, 7 rebounds a game at 5'3", and has all kind of awards, and she's just a sophomore for Sacred Heart. Last year, she was the first in conference history to win the Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year in the same season.
Then just back that up, Player of the Year this year. And she's got to be patient, and she has to let the offense come to her. And I think moving the ball side to side will create more opportunities for number 1 in Gray.
Christina Klein on the wing, over to Tilda Krokvist.
Now they've switched, so Pryor is on Brady underneath, down low.
And Elise Dudley forces the turnover. The dump off to Dudley short.
Oh, that's where she gets you. That's where she gets you right there. That hesitation, crossover, and attack the rim.
She started 0 for 9. That is her first field goal of the night. With all kinds of flair.
So the burst of quickness, how she takes off with the ball.
Klein a bit short. Sacred Heart is trailed by as many as 14. They've cut it to 8 here. Krokvist for 3. Offensive board for Klein.
Well, Presbyterian can't get away with what works so well in that first half. You got to move the basketball, not just come down and go one-on-one, but get good shots.
Jada Bonner, the drive, the kick out to a waiting Pryor. Stolen away by Pryor. Bonner misses. And Dudley with the smart play. That's off of Presbyterian.
Well, Pryor finally finding opportunities to shoot it. And that quickness off the bounce. Just the hesitation, patience offensively. And then Presbyterian with the slip. Kenseth to the basket.
Amelia Wood too much on the 3. Paige Kenseth knows how to use that glass.
Push and pace. Presbyterian getting up and down the floor right out of the locker room.
And Jessica Manetti's going to have to call time out. 33-21 Presbyterian here in the third.
This group has put into it. You can tell every single one of the players for Presbyterian is prepared. They know where they're supposed to be.
There's a big crowd on hand, too. A lot of Presbyterian fans made the short drive down to Columbia. A lot of blue in the stands. It's the Presbyterian defense forcing the turnover. Paige Kenseth, short. And look, some drives were longer than others. Alara Sharp's sisters, Alana and Alyssa, they drove overnight from Kansas to make sure they were here cheering their sister and her team on.
And look, the nerves.
Yeah, oh, they've been standing up, sitting down, yelling.
Well, Alara's the baby of the three, so you know they're really wanting to support their baby sister.
It's worth the drive from Kansas.
To be in your first NCAA tournament? Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think there's always nerves. Are your family members more nervous? Are you more nervous?
I think your family members are more nervous because it's out of their control. All they can do is sit and watch. When you're coaching, you kind of don't have to worry about anything but getting the right players in the right spot.
That's going to be a shot clock violation. Alana up and cheering.
I bet they're doing some coaching from in the stands too.
No.
The spacing has been terrific for Presbyterian.
They've been so disciplined on both ends of the floor. Oh, Coneal took a hard hit to the face. She was holding her nose after that. Coast to coast, though, for Nye Pryor.
Sacred Heart doesn't want their season to be over. They need a little bit of a run to happen in this third.
Crockfist under the basket. Amelia Wood hit the trailing Pryor. Tucker for three. Six points for Tucker. Two-minute scoring drought, though, for the Presbyterian.
Well, the defense has picked up for Sacred Heart.
Crockfist.
Yeah, Tucker just hit a three, put her on the same side of where you're going to get a drive.
Coneal did a nice job defending that. It's going to be a foul against Sierra Johnson. Well, Presbyterian up. Laura Sharp coaching her team in their first appearance with her sisters cheering her on from the stands.
Side of the floor, as you're going to have Pryor drive, the defense has got to decide, should I stay or should I go? And that's not a song I was talking about.
Yeah. And Pioneers trying to get their offense going. They've shot in the 20 percentile all game from the field. Right now, though, 3-minute scoring drought for Presbyterian.
Well, the defense switching by Sacred Heart has affected that as well.
And that's going to be a travel on Nira. 13th turnover for the Blue Hose.
Now, I like that adjustment defensively, switching, communicating, especially when you're not shooting the ball well. Well, as a coach, you take the focus off your offense. Focus on getting stops on the defense, then your confidence will build.
Bonner back to Johnson. Yeah, there's
I think that this might be one of the best teams that Don Staley has. The balance they have with the post game inside, they got perimeter shooters and the depth. Don Staley can play 10 deep.
And they'll need that depth. No Camila Cardoso, not available for Friday's game.
Here come the Pioneers.
7-0 run for Sacred Heart. They've trailed by as many as 14 today.
But they haven't panicked. Yeah, they've stayed composed, even though they have struggled shooting the basketball.
Looking for transition points. Got him thanks to Sierra Johnson. Now down just 3. And Alora Sharp is going to call timeout.
That's a good timeout because the momentum has shifted to Sacred Heart. Pushing in transition. The crossover by Johnson to get the finish, and that allows Sacred Heart just to get the press set again. You got to really stop the panic, and that's a good timeout by Laura Sharp to say, whoa, wait a minute, we got to get reorganized. We expected the press, but you can't turn the ball over.
Meanwhile, it's the closest it's been since 57 seconds left in the first quarter. A 9-0 run for Sacred Heart. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Presbyterian, on the other hand, hasn't scored in almost 5 minutes.
So the switching has really caused problems for Presbyterian.
Croc fist. Pryor trying for Dudley.
But the size inside, Brianna Brady is just too much inside. When you try to get into the paint, things get dark. Because her height, her length, not getting those easy layups.
She's a 6th-year player. Doesn't want this to be her last game.
I love the footwork Brady has. And you're talking about she didn't start playing until her senior year in high school. She has good instincts as a basketball player.
That was one heck of a box out from Nye Pryor. Short on the finish, though. Sonia Sato can't finish. And a foul away from the ball. It's on Sajeda Bonner, the first.
Mara Nira hasn't had a touch in a while either. Number 10 in blue.
Well, she had 12 points in the first half and has not scored in the third quarter. A 9-0 run continues here for Sacred Heart. Tucker. Presbyterian's got to go. I think there was a foul before time expired.
I think there was a charge.
They'll go look at this.
Jada Bonner, I think she was there.
Remember, the arc on the circle does not apply to women's basketball. That's only for the men, so don't worry about feet placement.
Now, did Bonner get 2 feet down?
Yeah.
In correct legal guarding position?
It was called a blocking foul on Bonner. They're going to review it to make sure that it didn't happen after time had expired.
The contact occurred on the foul at 0.3 seconds. Number 4 for blue will be our shooter, shooting 2 shots.
see number 23, Jada Bonner, gets there in time. Oh, no, they called a foul on Bonner.
Yeah, it was a block
foul.
Yeah.
She wasn't there.
Yeah. Crocvis didn't have any place to land.
True. I'm not sure Bonner got both feet down before Crocvis took off.
They were looking to see if there was time left on the clock, and there was. That's why Tilda Crocvis at the free throw line. Presbyterian needed that, back up to a 5-point lead. But the Blue Hose with no field goals in the last 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
Play not to lose. They can't start playing ultra conservative, and then for Sacred Heart, they got to go get it. If they want to continue and advance to play on Friday, they're going to have to leave it on the line. And you got to make championship plays. That means getting offensive rebounds, putbacks, steals, all those 50-50 balls.
I think something's wrong with the clock. They'll put 11 seconds on the shot clock. Five seconds. Nalise Dudley. She has 6. Jump ball possession arrow pointing to Sacred Heart.
Nalise Dudley moving Brianna Brandy away from the basket. From the elbow, gives her room to operate, to go around the big center inside. Makes it scoring a little bit easier. The Presbyterian is going to have to do a better job of taking care of the ball, especially against full court pressure.
They put 22 seconds on the shot clock. Nira just covered up by Sierra Johnson. And that's a travel, yeah, on Crocvis.
The Pioneer defense, they're flying around everywhere now. There's no second guessing. They're gambling, they're switching, they're communicating much better in this second half.
Yeah, the switching seems to have really brought them a lot of energy. That's the change they made coming out of the locker room.
Well, when you know you're switching too, you got to pay attention. That causes your focus to go up.
Dudley in and out. No field goals in 8 minutes for Presbyterian. Brianna Brady muscling her way to the free throw line. Well, 8:18 left. Who is going to step up? It's time now for tonight's Star Stories, brought to you by Honda. We told you about these two women at the start of this game, Tilda Crocvis and Nye Pryor. Full stat lines, but one of them trying to lead their team to an NCAA tournament win.
I think the teams that advance in this tournament have strong guard play. The guards that will be able to make the right decisions in crunch time as the clock is running down, who calls on their team to execute in crucial situations will be the team that advance.
Tucker. Amelia Wood, the deep three.
Oh, that would have been big for Sacred Heart if Wood could have gotten that one to drop.
Seven seconds. The dump off to Brady.
Krogvist, we just talked about her decisions down the stretch. From that point position, she recognized after the ball screen, the defense all focused on her. The rotation was there, and Brady all alone inside gets the easy two.
Brady now 10 points, 1 of 2 in double figures for Presbyterian. Krogvist 6 assists. Sacred Heart hasn't scored in 2 minutes. Olivia Tucker says, not so fast.
Now the area where Presbyterian does not want to pick up the ball is right across half court. You got to keep your dribble. She needs to get out of that corner.
What did the teams call that yesterday? The idiot box?
The idiot box. Sure did.
I love that.
Because the half court line sideline really acts as another defender.
Here's a kick ball by Krogvist. Lainey Scoggins back in for Presbyterian.
Yeah, Dudley had more success against Brady, flashing up to that elbow area and attacking her off the bounce. It's tough for her to score over 6'3", planted on the block.
Dudley's going to screen for Pryor instead, and she'll take the elbow shot.
The 1-2-1-1 press.
They've brought it all night. Movement inside to Brady. Working on Wood. Points in the paint were so important for Presbyterian in the first half.
Well, when you have Brady, who is 6'3", and she gets 1 or 2 feet in the paint, you got to give her the ball because that's almost automatic.
That's going to be a foul on Lainey Scoggins.
Brady getting early position, and what I love about her game is she did her work early. She had already buried the defense in the middle of the lane, so when she caught it, she had just the easy two.
Presbyterian so glad that she chose basketball over softball.
Right? I bet she made one heck of a first baseman, but she has been a terrific contributor for Presbyterian.
That's the third foul on Brady. So then Elise Dudley at the free throw line, a freshman out of Norwich, Connecticut. So playing in her home state is Sacred Heart, of course, in Fairfield. Brady will get a breather here. Well, the NCAA Championship Final Four weekend starts April 5th, continues Sunday, April 7th, when we crown a champion. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. How quickly do you bring Brady back in this game for Presbyterian?
Well, I'd let her take a break. If you can hold on to the lead till about the 4-minute mark, so that she would be strong and rested to finish this game.
Just off the fingertips of Amelia Wood.
See if Sacred Heart extends the pressure. So when the ball comes across half court, I mean, you can't let it come in the middle, but if you can get it on the sideline, maybe send out a scrambling trap, try to force more turnovers.
Maria Coniel with the move, and she is fouled. That'll be the 4th foul on Amelia Wood. Jada Bonner at the table right now, and she'll replace Wood. Coniel, another Spanish player on this Presbyterian team, started her career in Eastern Washington.
You know, another reason that Presbyterian may have looked more comfortable today, they've been here before.
Yeah.
They played South Carolina earlier this season, so being in this environment can help you play and feel a little settled in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Now, that was back on December 16th. They wouldn't mind playing the Gamecocks again on Friday if they could win here. Man, Dudley has been so good. Commodore alum.
Absolutely.
These two teams are fighting to take on Dawn Staley in South Carolina, who is 32-0. They're trying to be the 10th undefeated national champion and trying to be the 5th school with 3 national championships. That game would take place on Friday.
When both these teams have less than 5 minutes to determine if they're going to be playing on Friday.
And Brianna Brady is back out on the floor, number 34 in blue for Presbyterian.
And Presbyterian has dominated in the paint. They're winning that battle, plus 10, 24-14, and Brady has everything to do with that.
Tried to save it, but it went into the hands of Dudley. Presbyterian has never won an NCAA tournament game. This is just their first appearance. Sacred Heart got their first win last season in the tournament in the first 4. But they have trailed by as many as 14 tonight. And Nyseer Pryor has struggled, 2 of 16 from the field. She's their leading scorer.
What Sacred Heart has to focus on right now, string together back-to-back stops. Stops, then go.
There's a couple in a row.
And bring Dudley to the elbow and let her attack. At least you give the opportunity to get to the free throw line. But there, Pryor again on the glass.
9 points for Pryor. She's got a full stat line. 6 rebounds, 6 steals, 4 assists.
And Sacred Heart doesn't have to panic. It's a 2-possession game. They just need to defend out the shot clock. If they can force a tough shot, then they've got to box out. Make sure not second chances.
4 seconds. Scoggins got the offensive board. The takeaway from Pryor. And Nye Pryor is fouled by Christina Klein. Her second.
Well, Pryor's so sneaky and getting inside, snatching the ball away from Scoggins, and then heading the other direction. Now, this is where Pryor can be dangerous, attacking the basket. If she doesn't get the bucket, getting to the free throw line.
9.7 steals for Nye Pryor. Her career high is 8 steals. NCAA Men's Basketball Championship first round starts tomorrow on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV with coverage beginning at noon Eastern. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Up to double figures now for Pryor. And Sacred Heart is going to take a timeout. Down by 3 with under 3 minutes to play to try to continue their season and their run in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Coach Minetti calling that timeout to get her defense set, and I think she's going to change up, get a little bit more aggressive with her full court pressure. When the ball comes across, instead of just settling, try to speed up Presbyterian a little bit, try to make them make some decisions. Where on the other side, Coach Sharp, she is drawing up to be able to move the ball and who she wants the ball in the hands of, to use the clock and specifically get the ball to Krokvis. Let her be the decision maker down the stretch, and then she'll be able to kick out to shooters.
I know it's still early with 2:42 left, but just to note, Sacred Heart does have a foul to give before they get in the bonus.
Presbyterian, no need to foul. They just need to defend. Try to get a stop.
And that's going to be a foul on Nira. So the next foul by either team puts the player at the free throw line.
With everybody for Sacred Heart, except for Pryor, they're about the same size. You can switch all of these screens. You want to protect anything going to the rim.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Brianna Brady, her fourth.
When you make the effort to get through a screen, that gives the opportunity to call the official to call the foul in your favor, but you got to make that effort to get there, and Tucker did.
So Brianna Brady will go to the bench with 4 fouls, 2:14 on the clock.
Now with Brady on the bench, that really opens up for Dudley inside.
They get it to her right at the free throw line. Doesn't look to score though, kicks it back out to Johnson. Tucker in the paint.
That's big for Presbyterian to get the rebound, get the stop. Ooh. Krokvis might have gotten out with carrying the basketball. Ooh, but I think her hand stayed on top of the ball. That's why it wasn't called a carry.
So they're looking to confirm whose ball this will be.
The call on the floor is out of bounds belonging to Blue. The call is under review.
Tough to see from that angle.
Yeah, did Pryor touch it?
I think a
yeah.
pinky.
Yep, that's a great look.
Yeah, the pinky finger, I think, got it there. So the ball would go to Presbyterian.
And that was the original call on the floor. They're just looking to confirm this at the monitor.
Now, Courtney, think about this. This is Presbyterian's first NCAA tournament. They got here from being a 5 seed in their conference tournament and went on to win the championship to get here. And they got the lead right now. And the possession should go to them. Now, the most important thing they got to do is they got to get the ball in because they don't want to give this up with a 5-second call.
They're still looking to confirm whose possession this will be. The original call was Presbyterian basketball.
That look was so far away. This one's better, and there, it looks to me like Pryor's pinky was the last thing to hit the ball. Look, this can be nerve-wracking with it being a 3-point game. But the officials want to get it right.
Absolutely, a season is on the line. I think right there you see her fingertips.
Call on from the 4 stands. The ball will belong to blue. The clocks are correct.
All right, so just a 1-possession game. Minute 39 on the clock. Sacred Heart does have 2 timeouts. Presbyterian has 3. A foul by either team, and we're shooting free throws.
So what you don't want to do right here is foul. You just want to do fundamental defense. Sacred Heart came out of the locker room from halftime. They've been switching defensively, keep the ball out of the paint, but then finish your defense with a box out. And Presbyterian, it takes something going to the basket, and you've got Brady back in the game, even though she's playing with those 4 fouls.
Eight seconds. They go inside to Brady. Krokvis for 2. Little strong afterwards.
All right, now it's a 2-possession game. Sacred Heart needs to get something going to the basket or find Olivia Tucker. That's a 3-point shooter.
They'll go inside to Dudley, working on Brady, who again has those 4 fouls. And this is going to be Presbyterian ball. So now 2-possession game. Do you have to foul?
Yes.
Presbyterian is going to call timeout.
So, yes, if you're Sacred Heart, you've got to foul because otherwise Presbyterian can just use the clock. They could use the full 30 seconds. That would only leave you with 15. You need the ball twice.
So Presbyterian does advance the basketball. They will inbound near their own bench at half court.
Now, in looking at who you should foul, Krokvis is a 69% free throw shooter. Now Brady's a terrific free throw shooter. She's at 79%.
Less than a minute away from history for Presbyterian. If they can hang on here, they've led by as many as 14 tonight. Mara Nira will inbound.
Now Scoggins, number 23, she shoots 47% from the free throw line.
Sacred Heart not looking to foul.
They could use the whole shot clock. They're going to put themselves in a tough situation.
And there's the foul by Pryor. That's her 3rd.
Now, percentage-wise, Lainey Scoggins, 47% from the free throw line.
But you just took a lot of time off the clock.
I think that
about 18 seconds.
Sacred Heart should have fouled sooner. Lengthen this game. And now if you're Sacred Heart, you're getting it, busting it. I'd go full speed. Don't.
Manetti's going to call timeout and advance the ball.
No, she only has 1 left. I think there was enough time, especially off a miss, before the defense could get set to go down, score it, and then if you needed to stop the clock before they tried to inbound it.
Yeah, and they're really good in transition, too.
Yeah.
Sacred Heart down by 5.
They got to go quick.
37 seconds on the clock. Inside to Dudley. And Pryor misses. And there'll be a foul by Lainey Scoggins, her 2nd. Brianna Brady and Mara Nira back in the game for Presbyterian.
Presbyterian has 2 timeouts. So Laura Sharp just told the official to get possession or on a make. She wants that timeout to advance the ball.
Coach Sharp has described this Presbyterian team all season as having a resilient spirit. They lost 4 players, 3 starters to injury, won their conference tournament for the first time as a 5 seed. Can they get their first NCAA tournament win? Presbyterian uses that timeout. They advance the ball. They'll have 1 timeout remaining.
And what Coach Sharp wants to do is to make sure now you execute to get the ball in and who you want to get the ball to. Again, Scoggins shoots 47%, so you know that that's who Sacred Heart is probably going to try to foul as soon as the ball comes in. I would almost sub her out. If you need her defensively, put her back at the table. But you want to put your best free throw shooters on the floor because you know Sacred Heart's got to foul right away.
Sacred Heart got their first tournament win last year in this round in the first 4. They have had to battle back all night. 3 points down with 27.8 to go. Coach Sharp's sisters feeling every second of it.
Well, nobody on the ball, so you've got to deny. You've got to make sure you try to get that 5-second call.
Sacred Heart's got to foul right away. They will. They'll foul Mara Nira, who is a 72% free throw shooter. And that's the first foul on Dudley. Nira's got 12 points. All of those came in the first half, and then Sacred Heart really locked down on her.
Makes it a 2-possession game. So on a make, if Sacred Heart call timeout, advance the ball.
Coach Minetti will. That is their final timeout. A Sacred Heart team that came into this game having won their last 15, their longest winning streak since 2009.
And Coach Minetti, she's got to talk about not only this possession, but what she wants to do. If you score, then you're going to have to try to foul right away. If Presbyterian doesn't call timeout or advance it, then if you get the possession back, you also have to talk about when you get the ball back because there are no more timeouts.
If you're Sacred Heart, who do you want taking the shot right now?
If Sacred Heart, I want to get the ball to Pryor, and I want her to penetrate, and I want to look for Olivia Tucker. Tucker is the 3-point shooter. She's been spot on tonight. That's who I would go to.
Yeah, they need to go quickly there. Just 26 seconds on the clock, and their season on the line. They told us this year was different. They were picked to win their conference. They had to prove themselves every day that they were the best team because teams were coming for them in the NEC. They won the regular season. They won their conference tournament. They're back in the NCAA tournament for the 2nd year in a row.
But they have come up against a very hungry, focused, determined Presbyterian team. Presbyterian hit a little slump in the middle of, or the end of January, beginning of February, but they regrouped and they all ask each other to give a little bit more and commit to each other both on and off the court, and you see it paying off.
So Pryor is actually going to be the one that's inbounding the ball. They'll get it right back to her. Olivia Tucker's in the corner. Amelia Wood takes the shot. And Presbyterian calls timeout. They will advance.
The sisters are loving it.
The road trip from Kansas could be worth it. 17.7 seconds. These two teams, just their seasons, their journeys to get here. So hard, especially for Presbyterian, to make history. They're the first women's sports team at Presbyterian to win a conference championship, to go to the NCAA tournament. And they're the smallest Division I school in the country.
What's the enrollment?
The enrollment is 955 undergraduates.
I think that they're here.
all here.
Yes, absolutely.
Presbyterian in Clinton, South Carolina, just an hour away.
When they won the Big South tournament, they went home. The players were so excited of the gathering that they had, the welcome committee. Then they had a send-off to send them here for the NCAA tournament. And this team is playing for not just Presbyterian, but the Clinton community. They feel the responsibility because they have felt the support that this community has put around them.
So 17.7, Sacred Heart will have to foul right away. Both teams out of timeouts. Dudley with a steal.
Got to get down the floor with a quickness.
Wood had no opportunity at a three. And the rebound into the hands of Paige Kenseth with 5.2 on the clock. Paige Kenseth sinks the first, and Presbyterian can feel it. Something they've never felt before. The first time is always the sweetest in Presbyterian. Its very first win in the NCAA tournament. They came out and stepped onto this court like they had been here before. They were never afraid tonight.
They've been here before. They played South Carolina earlier, so they were comfortable on the court, but they knew the game plan. You saw the attention to detail, and they carried it out to advance to play on Friday.
We will see Presbyterian play South Carolina on Friday at approximately 2 Eastern. Another first four matchup coming up for you.